Hello gamers, this is Sai, and welcome back to Which Way Games. Now what lays just beyond your fist?
Alright, let's dance.
And with that being said, let's get on with the video. Welcome back to the final part of my Tekken Retrospective. It's been a fun journey so far, and for those that haven't checked out part 1 and 2, I highly recommend you do so, but for those that have, let's continue the adventure.
Now, the Tekken series of games have come a long way since its beginnings in the arcade, before making its home on the consoles owned by Sony. Ranging from the original trilogy on the classic PlayStation, followed by the 3 fantastic games on the PS2, before dipping its toes into the new generation of gaming consoles.
Each game improved on the previous, introducing new ideas and mechanics that went on to become part of the Tekken franchise.
Awesome.
Obviously there were games for the PSP as well as the Game Boy Advance, but when Tekken 6 graced the world of gaming, it was a pretty big deal.
Tekken 6 took most of the aspects of the previous games and improved upon them in so many ways. Stages were bigger with more interactivity, very much like the later Mortal Kombat games, and their character customization was given a massive overhaul.
Finally, gamers could create their ultimate fighter, but be warned, too much power could end in failure.
Following on from the events of Tekken 5, Jin Kazuma is now the head of the Mishima Zaibatsu. However, this newfound power, Jin ultimately declares war on every nation around the planet. This decision does come with consequences though, as Kazuma Mishima places a bounty on the head of his son.
This ever ongoing feud seems to have an adverse effect on the planet, essentially causing a civil war.
Once again, gamers could choose between a large roster of fighters, but this time around, Tekken 6 introduced the Rage Meter that had similarities to that used in the Street Fighter series.
However, unlike Capcom's legendary fighting series, Tekken 6's Rage Meter could be customised with colours to give off an elemental look, which wouldn't be out of place within the Mortal Kombat universe.
Round 2, fight.
Now, Tekken 6 was well received by gamers and critics who loved this fantastic game, as well as its update, but there were other gamers that looked back to the past with fondness, especially for the tag team series of games.
The original Tekken Tag Tournament has gone down in history as a fantastic launch title for the PS2. And with its popularity still relevant within gaming circles, it soon received an update for the PS3.
This update was called Tekken Hybrid, which had one of the live action films, which was okay, but there was a demo of Tekken Tag Tournament 2, which eventually came kicking and screaming its way into the gaming scene in 2012.
Tekken Tag Tournament 2 followed the same style of gameplay as its PS2 predecessor. However, gameplay mechanics from Tekken 4 and 5 would be adopted into the highly anticipated follow-up to the PS2 classic.
Tekken Tag Tournament 2 was met with positive reviews from gamers and critics who loved the over-the-top action as well as the cheeky nods to other fighting franchises. But what do you get if you combine the worlds of Street Fighter with that of Tekken?
Well, we're waiting.
You would be blessed with Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and when it was announced, it had gamers rubbing their hands with anticipation.
Street Fighter Cross Tekken was a collaboration between Namco and Capcom, combining the best fighters from their respective fighting franchises and making them go toe to toe with one another. The gameplay was more similar to the fighting style of the Street Fighter series, with more emphasis on combos, of which the Street Fighter games are well known for.
Finally, gamers could pit Ryu against Jin or Bison against Heihachi, but can the aging martial artist withstand the deadly Psycho Crusher?
Ultimate Psycho Crusher!
Now there was supposed to be a sequel called Tekken Cross Street Fighter, which would focus more on the gameplay style of the Tekken series, but at the time of this video, that particular game is in development hell for now.
You don't say.
While that game may never see the light of day, the video game scene was eventually blessed with a fantastic Tekken 7.
Tekken 7 continues on with the raging war between the Mishima Zaibatsu and the G Corporation. However, Jin Kazuma has fallen off the grid, leaving the Mishima Company in the hands of Nina Williams. Seizing this as an opportunity, Heihachi forces Nina to work for him, and in a roundabout way, becomes the leader of the Mishima Zaibatsu once again.
But not everything is gumdrops and rainbows. Kazuha is still out for blood, and he doesn't care who he has to trample over to seek out his revenge on his father.
Tekken 7 was filled to bursting point with even more characters than before, including some exclusive guest appearances from other fighting franchises. And with a focus solely on 1v1 fighting, Tekken 7's gameplay had gamers hooked from the moment that they pressed start.
Other games that did this have gone down in history as some of the greatest games of all time, and recently I've been asked that question, but that's for another time.
You teasing me, naughty.
Such as the popularity of the Tekken franchise that had a short-lived comic as well as some questionable live-action movies, but you can't beat the classic OVA, which is almost as good as the original Street Fighter 2 movie.
Overall, the Tekken series of games have had some absolute classics within the franchise. Each game followed that simple fighting formula that's made fighting games popular for so many decades. And with the Tekken series showing no sign of slowing down, it'll be great to see another game from this amazing franchise. Perhaps it'll be a continuation of the story, or it'll be another crossover with other fighting series such as Street Fighter once again, or even the legendary Virtua Fighter series. Either way, the Tekken series provides a fantastic gaming experience, and within this series is a fighter for every gamer that has a particular fighting style. But the biggest question is, do you have what it takes to become the champion and take over the Mishima Zaibatsu?
I hope you all enjoyed my 3-part Tekken retrospective, and thank you for being patient while I was making these videos. But anyway, come back next time where the cartoon guy looks towards the magical world of the Visionaries, but what strange powers these mystical knights have. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next game.